this. So yesterday we have discussed the concept of linked list where we have a collection of nodes like this, and every node is connected to the next node using a single link. That's the reason why we call it as a single linked list, and the last node is having the link part as null. And as I told that there is a special node in the linked list which we call it as header node, which stores the address of the first node. It is used to identify the starting point of the linked list. Therefore header becomes 100, right? But while discussing the different topics or different types of linked lists, we have discussed the singly linked list, and after that I told the concept of circularly linked list where we will wrap the last element to the first element, right? So what we will do, instead of making this last node's link part as null, we will store the address of first link, that is first node, that is 100. Therefore a logical link is established like this. So it becomes a circularly linked list. And the third category which I have discussed is doubly linked list, right? So in doubly linked list it looks like this. A node is divided into 3 parts. Let me take 4 different nodes like this, and we have, since it is a doubly linked list, you should have 2 links. That's the reason why we call it as doubly. We have 2 links, right? One link is to connect a node to its next node, and another link is to connect a node to its previous node, right? Similarly, this node is linked to the next node, and this node is again connected to the previous node. Like that we have different links, right? So if you take one particular node, that particular node will have 2 links. The one link is connected to the previous node, and the other link is connected to the next node. We have 2 different links. And similarly for the last node, how can you identify this as last node? You just make the link part as null part, right? What about the front or the previous link of the first node? Since it is not connected to any of the previous nodes, again we make it as null. So this is how the doubly linked list is implemented. And again we have this header node. All these things are common, right? And this is how the doubly linked list looks like, right? As I told that every node is divided into 3 parts. The middle part is the data part, and the left part is the link to previous node, and the right part is the link to next node, right? Here in this example we have 3 different nodes. As I told that the last node is indicated, or the last node is identified by making the next link of the last node to null. Similarly, you can identify the first node, or the previous part or the previous link of the first node is again initialized to null. And as I told that the first node is always the address of the first node is always stored in a special node which is called as a head node or header node, right? Now coming to various advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of doubly linked list, as you can see on the screen, that it can traverse in both directions. See, so we have 2 links. One is to the next node and the other one is to the previous node. So you can traverse from left to right. So you can traverse from left to right like this, or you can traverse from right to left like this, right? So that is one of the advantages of doubly linked list over singly linked list. Right? And coming to second advantage of doubly linked list, it is easy to reverse a linked list. For example, if you take the concept of reversing a singly linked list, it is a somewhat tedious task. Why? Because there is no provision of moving from right to left. You can move only from the left to right. So, but in doubly linked list, it provides the provision of moving the programmer from right to left also. That's why it becomes very easy to implement the reversing of a linked list using W linked list, right? So you may be asked some questions like, what is the best data structure to reverse a linked list, right? Then you'll be given options like singly linked list, circularly linked list, doubly linked list, like that. So to reverse a linked list, the best data structure is the doubly linked list, right? So these are the type of questions you may be asked. And the last advantage we have is, if you are at a node, then we can go to any node. This is what is important. But in linked list, it is not possible to reach the previous node. This is almost similar to the first point only. For example, if you go back to this example and look at this, at this point we are at this node B, that is second node, which is having the data element as B. We are here right now, take it as pointer, right? If you want to move to the next node, it is possible. Why? Because we have a link to the next node in the form of next, right? So you can move to the right hand side. Similarly, if you want to go back to the previous node, it is also possible. Why? Because every node is having a link to the previous part, right? So you can move in this direction also. It is almost similar to the first point which we have discussed, which allows the W linked list allows the traversal from left to right as well as from right to left, right? Coming to the disadvantage part, this may not be a great disadvantage, but we say that, since you can observe here that every node consists of two pointers, right? One pointer is to link to the previous node and another pointer is to link to the next node, right? So the total space occupied by each and every node is the data part. Assume that this data is character, right? Therefore it occupies 1 byte. Similarly, the previous link part, which is nothing but a pointer, it occupies 4 bytes. And the next link, it occupies 4 bytes. Again, I told that it may not be always it may not be 4 bytes in all the cases, right? It depends on the architecture. For example, if you are working on a 32-bit architecture, then it is 2 bytes, and if it is a 64-bit, it is 4 bytes, right? So the total size occupied by each and every node is 4 plus 1 plus 1. 4 plus 1 plus 4, that is 9 bytes is being occupied by each and every node. But if you consider the singly linked list like this, so this is the data part. For data part, it occupies 1 byte, and for the link part, it occupies 4 bytes. So a total of 5 bytes is required for implementing a node in the singly linked list. But whereas it occupies 9 bytes, therefore each and every node takes 4 more bytes in the doubly linked list. That is treated as one of the disadvantages. That is, doubly linked lists occupy more space when compared to that of the singly linked list, right? So the first disadvantage is it requires more space per node, because extra field is required for the pointer to the previous node. That's what we discussed. And insertion and deletions takes more time than a linear linked list, because more pointer operations are required than a linear linked list, right? Let me discuss this clearly, and this is another important point that may be asked in the GATE examination point of view. Yesterday also we have discussed the same concept. Like you may be asked a question like, in a singly linked list, if you want to insert a new node in the middle of the linked list, how many pointers are to be interchanged, or how many pointers have to be modified? There we have observed that you need to modify 2 pointers. Similarly, in this case, in the doubly linked list, the same type of question may be asked, where he's saying that if you want to insert a new node into the doubly linked list, insert a new node in the middle of the doubly linked list, how many pointers you have to modify, right? It's also very simple. The first step is you have to create a node, a new node like this, and again it has this previous and next part. What you have to do? You have to first, for example, assume I want to insert this new node at this location, that is before B and after A. So what you have to do? You have to break this link from A to B, and then you have to connect it to this node, D node. Again, after that, this is one pointer I have modified, and the second pointer which I have to modify is the next part of D. That is, the next part of D should be connected to B. Right, this is the second point I am modifying it. Similarly, the previous part of B should be connected to D. The previous part of D should be connected to A. Therefore, this is 3 and this is 4. So the answer is a simple, straightforward answer. That is, in order to insert a new element in between a doubly linked list or in the middle of a doubly linked list, the number of pointers that are being modified is equal to 4.